Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel, Hidden Alchemy, where we talk about tons of things: yoga, astrology, meditation, podcasting, books, all the things. But for today, we are going to dive into what it means when you have your sun in the sign of Scorpio. Now, before I dive into this, go ahead and head over to my website, hiddenalchemybysade.com, where you can get your own personalized readings. Yes, my books are finally open for readings. So go ahead to my website, check out what my offerings are, how to get in contact with me for your readings, and we can go ahead and take it from there. For today's video, diving into Sun in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this is one of my favorite Sun placements. Being a Virgo, I get along very well with Scorpion placements and Scorpio energy. We are very similar in characteristics, but also just because your Sun is in the sign of Scorpio doesn't necessarily mean that everything of what I'm saying in the video is going to resonate. Of course, you want to check out your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Mercury, your Jupiter, your Saturn, your Chiron, all the things, which you can dive deeper into on my channel, Hidden Alchemy. So let's go ahead and dive in. Your sun sign is your conscious personality. It's the type of understanding that you have of the energy that you bring. So if you have the sun sign in Scorpio, then you know you like to study, you know you're a researcher, you know you have so much personal power, right? It's the things that you are consciously aware of within yourself and your personality. I usually like to say your sun sign is like a toolbox, and in that toolbox are the tools of your signs traits that you have at your disposal to use throughout your journey. Now, the sign Scorpio is a feminine sign. It is fixed, it is water, and it's ruled by Mars. So, Scorpio is the feminine ruled Mars sign. Aries is the masculine ruled Mars sign. Now, what that means is when we're dealing with the masculine energy, masculine is more direct, it's more action oriented, right? So, Aries has that energy of action, of movement, of direction, etc. Now, when we're dealing with the feminine aspect of Mars, we're dealing with the internalization of that Mars energy. And that's what makes Scorpio so powerful, because they have the capability to literally kill an aspect of themselves in order to transform themselves into another being. So, yes, Scorpio is known as a fixed sign because they are fixed in their emotions and they move from their emotional state. Now, they're not controlled by their emotions. That's another thing. Scorpios love to be in control of their emotions, but they move from an emotional state of devotion. They are devoted to their emotional state because of that Mars energy, and they are very committed. So, whatever emotion they are in, they are going to be committed to moving from that space. In this devotion and this commitment to their emotions, they have the power of using their Mars fire to literally transform all of the pain, all of the trauma, all of the things that go on in the darker aspects of their life, and they're able to rebuild themselves into a stronger being. And that's one thing that we can really learn from the Scorpio energy, is to embrace the darkness of life and use our pain to propel us into our personal power. And that's what makes Scorpio the sign that people are a little bit intimidated by. Because even when you think about the time of Scorpio energy, right? We're in Halloween, we're going into the more darker aspects of the year. And that's Scorpio. Scorpio wants you to dive into the deeper aspects of your psyche. Scorpio really rules the full darker feminine, the divine feminine. When you look at the yin and the yang circle, the yang energy is white and it's the masculine energy, light in energy. The yin energy is black, it's dark, and that's the feminine energy. And that's what Scorpio really embodies. When we are working with our feminine, it's not just about acknowledging the lighter aspects of our psyche, the more conscious aspects of our psyche. It's about understanding the darker aspects of our psyche, the phobias, the fears, the insecurities, the lies, the deceit, the jealousy. That's Scorpio. Scorpio wants you to see that there is a shadow to life, and we have to embrace that shadow to have the full picture and the full person. And that's what makes these folks so understanding in their relationships. These are people, especially personally for me, I feel like Scorpios and Aquariuses are people that I can really divulge the most deepest darkest, craziest, traumatic things to. And there will be no sense of judgment, no sense of pity. It'll be a deep understanding of, yes, that's the reality of humanity. Make these folks a little humdrum, a little pessimistic at times, is because they understand that with every light, with everything that has an appearance, there's a shadow to it. And they understand this is how humanity works. This is how people work. This is how the psychology of people work. And that's also why they like to study people. They can be obsessively intrigued by the psyche of others, or obsessively intrigued by anything that they're interested in. And the reasoning behind this obsession is because Scorpio being that water element and that Mars water, right? So they are devoted and committed and passionate about the things that they're passionate about. And because they're water, they want to merge with whatever they touch. And that's why they rule intimacy. They rule not the Libra side. Libra is about the illusion of how we attract people. Scorpio is about what goes on when the doors are closed and it's just you and your partner in your most intimate setting. Your childhood traumas come up, your insecurities come up, the things that people don't see at work or outside in social settings, but your partner sees. That's Scorpio. They want that intimacy. And that is why they can have this obsessive nature, because they really want to involve their entire self into something in order to understand it. And that is why these folks can come across as very guarded, because they care so deeply. That water, even though it's fixed, even though it's Mars, that water is so powerful, it's so penetrating, and it's deep. Waters run deep for them. And when they have that love for you, when they involve you into their circle, they are literally wanting to merge with you. So they're attaching themselves to you. Scorpios can be clingy, very obsessive, very attached, and they have a hard time letting go. So when they do let go, it has to be cold, because they have to remove their entire self from the situation, right? Because they have involved their entire self. And that is why betrayal runs so deep for these people, because they feel it on a core level because of how involved they get themselves into the people that they love. They really want to intertwine and find that partner. Scorpios, especially once they find that partner, I know a lot of people like to partner Scorpios with being this sexual sign. And it's not that Scorpios are sexual or aren't sexual, they just rule the sex organs, but they really rule intimacy. They rule like having that spiritual, soulful connection with another being, and being with that being for the rest of life, and going through the trials and tribulations and evolution with that person. Scorpios really want to find their person, merge with them, and move through life with them and evolve with them, because they understand that evolution is going to require darkness and pain. So they're not afraid of that. Scorpios are not afraid of, diving into the darker aspects of their partnership, or their partner or their friends or their family. They know that that is what life is about. And that's why these people are great therapists, great psychologists. They can really penetrate a situation and help you understand where you need more healing, or the truth of what's really going on inside. And that's what makes these people really great friends and really great partners, despite having their other tendencies. Now, let's go ahead and dive into those other tendencies, the darker tendencies of Scorpio. Because Scorpio is ruled by Mars, Scorpios need dominance. They need to be in control. They need to feel in control and to feel like they are the leaders of something. That's just what Mars is going to bring. But what Scorpio is here to learn is personal power. And personal power is not about having control over other people. It is about having control over yourself, your own emotions, so that you can control the situation. But you cannot control other people to control the situation. And when Scorpios are in their more immature stage, their younger stage, they will try to use mind games and tactics to try to control people. But really, it's because they're lacking that security within themselves. And it's very normal for Scorpios to have a lot of deep insecurities, because they internalize a lot of the pain. They internalize a lot of things that happen. Whereas Aries is going to attack you with that Mars energy, that masculine Mars. Scorpio is going to internalize it and think that something's wrong with them and have these deep, dark, rooted insecurities that you better not ask them about because they're so private and they don't want other people to know their business, but yet they want to study your psyche and your business. So when Scorpio is in that immature stage, they want to control other people. But once they learn how to tap into that fire of being able to transform themselves, of having that personal power, they could care less about controlling over other people because they understand that the power that they need is already within them and they don't need to search outside of themselves. And that's why I say Scorpio is the divine feminine, because the feminine energy is self sufficient, right? The feminine is the mixture of masculine and the feminine. And when you tap into that Scorpion Kundalini energy, right, where you're able to really tap into your sensuality and your senses and understand who you are on a deep rooted level, you are the most powerful person because now you can understand other people. And that's why I say Scorpio is so powerful, so transformative, and really a deep, deep sign that needs a lot more investigation. There's so much murky water when it comes to Scorpio. There's so much pain, especially if you are a Scorpio moon or rising, which I'm going to dive into in the next video. There's so much pain that you see, that you witness, because you are the sign that can really hold that pain and use your fire to transform it into something bigger and better than before. So that is all we have for the lovely sun in the sign of Scorpio. Please let me know if you have this sun sign, if this resonates with you. Again, check out my website for your own personalized readings. I have tons of offerings on my site, and I will see you for our next video, everyone.